Bodhi. He's like, is it my turn? Is it my turn?
Not yet, honey.
You didn't do the Chalisa yet.
It's coming soon, sweetheart. So, in order to turn our minds away from mundane reality, we need to contemplate the four turnings of the mind, which are, we have a precious human birth. We do not know if we will get another human birth next time around. We don't know where we will be born if we do get a human birth. And will we have the opportunities that we have now? So this precious human birth is only precious if we engage in spiritual sadhana and we really use this birth for all it's worth. Because impermanence is the second turning of the mind. Everything is flowing and changing. We do not know. We can be one step away from slipping on a banana peel. We don't know what's out there for us. And this impermanence makes us realize every moment is sacred. Every moment is the moment for us to return to God, return to love, return to devotion, to strengthen our faith. Impermanence, nothing lasts. It's all gone. One moment, like a bubble we are, floating, all of us. Then we want to think of causality. What we do comes back to us. All right, karma is real. Cause and effect is real. And instead of complaining about the effect, all we need to do is change the cause. This is, of course, easier said than done because of continual habits that we have accumulated birth after birth, all right, of generating this samsaric ocean that we're all in right now. And the three poisons are rampant. The poisons of aversion, the poisons of lust and greed, and the poison of ignorance. Or, in a simple way to say it, I like it, I don't like it, I don't care. This is how the mind goes. So, we want to really appreciate this opportunity and really realize that this is it, you guys. We don't know when death will come. Death will come. And will we be ready? That's the question. Will we be ready to die? So let's get ready, because we're all going to die. And how do you get ready? By living a life full of love, devotion, and full faith. And really generating that energy with all your heart and with all your soul. Good life, good death. The mind goes on. When the body drops, our consciousness continues. So we want to be ready. We want our consciousness to be filled, our mind stream filled with virtue, with noble thoughts, with compassion for all sentient beings. We want to eliminate gossip and talking about other people and things that we don't need to get involved in. We want to simplify our lives and live a pure life and dedicated life to the highest Shakti, the highest Divine Mother, the highest vision that you all have, that we all have for the Buddha, for God. Because this is it. This is our life. This beautiful, precious, wow, wonderful life that we have been given to us by our Mother. So when we leave this world, we want to be in a state of real peace and calm awareness so that we can navigate through the bardo of the after-death state. Because it is like a dream, like we dream each night. That is like kind of the death world that we go into. We have all these dreams. We cannot, make the mind do so many things that we want it to do because it's always going all over the place.
The time to practice calming the mind and using proper discernment is when we have a body, because the body is a dense reality, and we have the body as a tool. After the body drops, it's a mental reality, it's an astral plane, and everything is much lighter and quicker and faster, and a thought manifests. A thought, the consciousness creates in an instant when the body is dropped. It's like in the dream state, if you've ever done any lucid dreaming, and you're able to actually like jump from the sidewalk onto a rooftop and jump from a rooftop onto another rooftop because you thought it. It's like, oh, it'd be fun to jump onto that rooftop. All of a sudden you're there. And that's how it is when the body drops. And so how to prepare, if we're thinking of fear, if we're thinking of, anything demonic, anger or jealousy or greed, anything that's pulling us towards the desire realm rather than pure liberation and the highest of pure love, the pure land, that will then manifest in form. And so it's like the external demons are actually our internal demons. And it's always the case, except that once the body drops, it's so fast and it's so quick that we don't even understand what's going on. I lost my body, where am I now? And these are the teachings of the Tibetan Buddhist.
Yeah.
To do that practice, there's a great purpose in it, which is, how will we be at the time of death? What will occur when the body drops? I really feel that the practices of Buddhism, which is practicing to become a Buddha, it's reading the Dharma, it's being the Dharma, it's cultivating satsang, sangha, dharmic friends, and it's practicing the tools that the Buddha gave us, which is sitting and focusing on our breath and seeing how we can turn that into compassionate, loving kindness for others. The non-dualists end up in a non-dual trap. We have like the bhaktas and pouring their devotion towards their Ishta Devata or the Guru or their chosen form of God or Christ. And then we've got like the non-dualist Buddhists who are going to become God. And it's really actually the same trip. And so the dualists and the non-dualists are dueling. And what it really ends up being is that we can't just be in the non-dualist trip because we live in a dual reality, and we're walking in third dimensional form, and dualism is everywhere. So how do we bring the bliss that we find in our non-dualist practices, whether that's deep meditation or merging with the Guru through devotion, how do we bring that into our everyday life? And that is the practice.
Yes.
Right?
It's the kitchen. It's kitchen sink reality.
Right. Like doing the dishes.
Doing the dishes. But doing the dishes in a calm, mindful way and appreciating exactly what you're doing and not thinking like, I want to get this over with to get on to something else better. But like, this is it. There's this reality, and God will meet me here at the kitchen sink. God will meet us chopping the lettuce. God will meet us wherever we are if we can show up. And I think that's the true gift of our presence, because that's all what we want. We all want each other's presence, to be really there for each other in a real heartful way. And I think the daily life practice is the key.
So whatever it is that you're doing, you're focusing your full presence on it.
Yes.
So that you can then bring your full presence to whoever's right in front of you.
Exactly.
With the same love, the same honor, the same dedication, the same devotion.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the experience that when that happens for me, then I come into an open space that's very, very vast, that I'm in the God space with it, whatever I'm doing.
The Divine Mother.
Yeah, the Divine Mother, correct.
The Shakti running through you.
Yeah, the Shakti running through you. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the breath. Your breath is always bringing you home. All you have to do is remember your breath and you're home. You cannot be with the breath and not be here now. The moment you touch the breath, you are here now. You are completely present in the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
That is a beautiful gift that the breath gives us. The prana vayu that Hanuman brings. You know, Hanuman's the son of the wind. He is the breath of Ram. And so very simply, my guru Neem Karoli Baba simply put the name of Ram on his breath. And that's what he did his whole life. Ram, 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 Ram. Ra, 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 ra.
And people would come to him
Yeah.
and they would tell him their problems.
Right.
And what would he do?
Maharaji would, first of all, he would say to them in Hindi, I'm translating into English, he'd look at them and he'd go, what to do? Ram, 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 ram.
So he'd be like, what to do? And then he'd be like, ram, 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 ram. In other words, what to do? Say the name of God over and over and over.
Because the name of God is God. This is the Tantric teaching and the reality. It's not a symbol of God. It's not a symbol of God. It is God. You know, like my American Indian grandpa, Little Joe, who adopted me when I came back from India and New Mexico. He said to me once, he said, do you see that tree out there? And I said, yeah, I do, Grandpa. He said, that's Jesus. And he said, you know, you white people think that we think that eagle is a symbol of God. He said, that eagle's not a symbol of God, it's God. And it's like, you know, you go click, you know, you get it. It is a moment where it just goes right past the mind.
And what did he say about when he went to church?
He went to church. He went to Catholic church once, Little Joe.
One time.
One time, Grandpa. And he never went back again. So people said to him, they said, Little Joe, Grandpa, how come you didn't go to church anymore? And he said, oh, I got it. The name of God is God, and having the faith and the love and the devotion to know that when you say Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, and then you share the merit of that one prayer that you said, please bless all sentient beings with this prayer. May they all be free of suffering and the cause of suffering. Which is what? What is it? It's clinging, it's grasping, it's holding on to the past, it's holding on to thoughts. It's going after them, chasing them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like cutting this habit.
Perceive it and leave it.
Perceive it and leave it. And it's a profound teaching, and it's like, it seems like these great masters have mastered it.
Well, it's tricky because, you know, the teaching, perceive it and leave it, which came from Trungpa.
Chogyam Trungpa.
Yeah. So it's very tricky because it's like, perceive it and leave it is a great teaching if you're getting over attachment or aversion, or you're really hooked in to a drama. But on the other hand, perceive it and leave it could also be a spiritual bypass. And so we have to watch ourselves, because there's so many people floating on top of everything and not really feeling and not really having true compassion and really taking the steps they need to step to engage in the life and engage in the relationship and do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's got to be a balance, right?
Yeah, there's got to be a balance.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, very important. Well, you're right. We have to really watch the spiritual bypassing and going light on things.
See, way back when, thousands of years ago, 5,000 years ago, okay, in yoga, there would be a grandfather teaching the grandson, or the grandfather teaching the father and the son until the father becomes the grandfather and the grandmother. You can hop on the internet and go for a weekend to Mexico and become a shaman. And instead of studying for lifetimes, and not only that, but having the blood of the ancestry behind you. And so in that sense, Baba, when a teaching like Perceive It or Leave It floods the masses, and you can just read on a website about it, of course there's a lot of spiritual materialism and the dilution of what the teaching really means,
Right.
which can turn into spiritual bypass.
Yeah.
And so, especially in the modern world, we need to be careful. We all need to be careful.
Yeah, we all need to be careful, and that's why I have to coming back to sincerity, and coming back to real humility, and really meaning what you're doing with all your heart, and coming into authentic presence and being is like so essential. It's just moment to moment, breath to breath.
Right.